Hello and welcome back to Boston Commune.
This week's Incredulous installment marks episode number 50, featuring commentary from Comrade Scott, Joe, Ellie, and myself. For news, Joe graces us with a fresh strain of COVID in our beloved Vietnam, what you need to know about the budget proposal, and a wonky oil giant insurrection, to which I respond with bleak predictions about our impending renewable empire. And Ellie follows up with the flowery stench of death. All the while, Scott struggles with the recent loss of his loyal soundboard, but he's determined to resurrect those spicy drops by this time next week, baby.
Please do us a favor, share this content, do yourself a favor, enjoy your epoch.
And I'm like, tell me more about the beer hall push. And then I'd like burp and throw up a little bit of Cheerios all over the table. I'm like, that's from somebody else. That was here before we got here.
Yeah, why, Bill?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's what Jesse said.
Why does he regret that?
That he didn't.
What is this?
Some kind of joke.
All right, for context, our soundboard is...
My shit's
AWOL.
fucked up. I don't know what to do.
Shit's fucked.
Our soundboard is entirely manual this week.
Yep. Even that cough. Mm-hmm.
Yep,
heard
that was
it.
added in post.
Motherfucker. Joe.
You heard it here first.
You heard my cough here first. It's been an exhausting day with my fucking computer. Anyways, Joe. What the fuck is up? What's the news? Sorry, I'll be
Man, that was very aggressive.
an aggressive boy. Excitable boy.
Very aggressive.
Spicy boy.
So, it's mostly bad news, some good news, but mostly bad news.
Surprise.
Shocking.
Do we want to start with the terrible news or the less terrible news?
Joe, do whatever.
Just let us down easy.
Cut my head off.
Okay,
Just kill us.
And then let us know.
Well, so, Reuters 3 days ago reported that Vietnam, of all places, has detected a hybrid variant that spreads quickly through the air, that is a hybrid between the Indian variant and the British variant of COVID-19.
Are they still... Do you know, like, what the status is on how they've been channeling their healthcare infrastructure to, like, deal with it? Because they were doing some pretty creative shit.
I still don't quite understand how they're managing it, but the numbers are still impressive. Like, this new variant has caused half of the total of 6,856 registered cases in Vietnam, and 47 people have died in the entire country since the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow. I mean, I can tell you how they're doing it.
And this is a country, 6,800 cases
Is the answer
in a country
communism?
of 95... 6,800 cases in a country of 95 million people.
Yeah, I don't care what the fuck you say about Vietnam. I mean, I do. I'm going to pretend I don't. I do. But they have an incredibly impressive public infrastructure.
For perspective, Massachusetts, as of today, has registered a total of 661,294 cases. Massachusetts, a state with a population of less than 7 million.
That's a lot.
And the best healthcare in the world. Don't forget that.
Yeah. I was like, when we first heard about this being in Vietnam, I thought, made me think of like...
Not Lenny.
Because I know it's your favorite country, Jesse.
Who's Lenny, dude?
He's from this I'm sorry. I picked the wrong person to make a Simpsons joke.
I would have gotten it.
I know, Scott would have gotten it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Like, what the hell is this
Completely went over
offensive?
me.
Yeah.
We don't have a Not Lenny sound drop that I know of.
Oh no, not Lenny! Not Lenny! Not Lenny!
What else is going on, Mr.
The
Joe?
budget, I actually read the entire budget proposal over
You read the entire
weekend while I was at work on
budget
Saturday.
proposal? Are you like a dork, dude?
What's Joe and on?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How long is it?
I was at work and I had nothing better to do. It was only 72 pages.
Oh, okay. That's reasonable.
Oh, just 72.
If it was like thousands of pages, I would have been like, Joe, no, please don't.
Sitting there in that car for a long time.
Well, actually, I was in a building.
He was
waiting
in a building,
to go
folks.
back into the car.
That you can wreck, yes.
There was a context to that. But that's not what we're discussing.
Yes.
It's a shitty budget. It is...
Couldn't even fix the car you wrecked.
Actually,
Oh, sorry.
It
actually,
was straight poop.
we have the car back that I did kill. So I find it amusing every week. It's like, oh, it's back for run 2.
Yeah, but that means you failed.
No.
No?
It's
I
like a
Oh,
3-round
actually,
match.
yes.
He has to win 2 out
okay,
of
fine.
3.
Actually, no, Jesse's
do-
right. I did kind of fail because it's still...
We'll do the
exists.
socialism rule. It's still in it's in development right now. You have not yet achieved the full decommissioning of the vehicle, but we're getting
Soon.
there. It's an experiment, and we can support it.
It's
We're
praxis.
getting there.
Solidarity with Joe's attempt to.
My boss actually, explicitly said last month that he would be fine if we, Molotov cocktailed the car.
Nice.
He's like, as long as we get
pretty
to keep
base.
the rental Jeep that we got, I'd be fine with just burning one of the cars.
Dude.
There would be like a Pfizer bonding experience. Throw Molotovs at this car, you know?
They're all
Bonding.
standing around
Why
it,
not?
singing Kumbaya, roasting marshmallows.
Well, actually, we don't work for Pfizer technically. We're contractors, so we'd be just
So
laughing
you would have
at the Pfizer
to
people.
you would have to be the patrol, making sure that no one interfered or stopped them.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to work security around the
Joe,
fire.
you wouldn't even get to participate.
And they would place you at a place that's just a little bit too close, so you're just constantly just sweating, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
overheated.
And they won't let you take your mask off. Oh, this is getting dystopian. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
This was supposed to be a happy hypothetical.
yeah, the mask mandate at my site doesn't end until September, so I'm kind of fucked.
Wait,
What do you mean
why?
you're fucked? That means you're not
Because
going to get it.
Pfizer's doing its own thing. They don't actually care what the state or federal government is doing. They sent us an email on Sunday about the COVID, the mask plan and the reopening plan in general. We're only 55% capacity, and they sent us this long-winded email that essentially the gist of it was,
we're letting you know that we don't know what we're doing. We're thinking about a plan. We don't actually have a plan or know what we're doing, but we're thinking about it, and we're letting you know that we're thinking about it. We won't really do anything until September, but we're thinking about it. So have fun.
September seems more reasonable than last Saturday. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was on the T on Sunday, and it was like sardines.
when I was in New York, most people weren't wearing the masks, but when you got on the subway, everybody was wearing the mask. So it was...
It's good. I've had at least one Lyft passenger so far who was like, "Hey, the mask mandate's being lifted."
And then you tell them to
Fuck themselves.
and I was like, "Yeah,
Hold on
I
a
don't
second.
know.
Hold on a
I
second.
don't know.
All right. There was a news item here. What is it? What
We've lost it."
was in the budget, Joe?
I'll tell you first what's not in the budget. There's nothing about student loans. In fact, the word loan appears only 6 times in the entire document. And 3 of those times are talking about how to manage the interest on the TARP loans from 2008.
Tarp.
That was the bank bailout in 2008.
That's when they literally.
Fuck.
It's when they give you a tarp.
Put a tarp on you.
TARP, which stood for Troubled Asset Reallocation, I think it was.
It's a terrible
Troubled assets.
Yeah, it is. Troubled assets.
I was just
Hank Paulson, think of that one?
George Bush Jr.'s hurricane emergency plan. Just give it. Just never mind.
So there's a little bit of money. that goes
Let's
with,
loan everyone a tarp.
So there's a little money for the public service loan
That
forgiveness
was kind of
program, but that's bullshit because literally 99.998% of applications to that program are outright denied. This isn't how Jesse talks about everybody on SSDI gets denied the first time. No, literally basically everybody gets denied. Despite the fact that the public service forgiveness loan program is literally half the marketing campaign that is done to convince people to go into low-wage public service jobs like teaching. It's oh, well...
And we're back in the game.
Hey, yo. what were we talking about? Oh, I was actually going to say, somebody told me that applying for SSDI is trying to convert to Judaism, which is that they deny you like 3 times the first time.
Yeah, like you get denied several times, but if you just keep doing it, then
Then eventually, okay, well
They'll
that's good to
eventually give
know
up.
because I just applied and I'm not looking forward to being denied several times.
disability gang.
Woo!
Fun stuff. But yeah, so that program is useless, even though it's always marketed as like the high school like seniors like
It's okay if you won't get paid that much when you go to teaching. You know, you need a master's degree because you'll get your loans forgiven if you just make enough payments.
But then when you apply to have your loans forgiven through this program, you're just gonna get denied. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than you have actually having your loans forgiven through that program.
Like literally?
Literally, 99.998% of all applications are outright denied.
Jesus Christ.
What is the fucking point?
You have a 1/1000th of 1% chance of having your application to have your loans forgiven if you through the public service loan forgiveness program.
This kind of just sounds like it's like when they tell you to like repent to God or whatever to like have your sins forgiven.
Repent to your other lords.
Yeah.
That is the only mention of loans related to student loans in the entire budget.
Interesting.
Nothing about student loans. There's nothing about loan cancellation for students who go to public colleges or historically black universities, which is something Biden promised when he was campaigning. They even fuck up the public option shit. Like, Biden ran on lowering the Medicare age to 60, and he managed to fuck that up too. Like, in the plan, me and everybody else assumed when he's like, oh, we're just gonna lower the age. What he meant by that is we're just gonna lower the eligibility age. Like, you could just enroll at 60 instead of 65. His plan in the budget is actually seniors 60 to 64 can choose to buy into Medicare if they feel like it.
Great.
And there's no real actual public option. The only money that's really in this budget for healthcare is just, we're going to plug some holes in like the Obamacare exchanges. We're going to do little subsidies here and there for like Medicaid people, which is essentially just neoliberal technocratic nibbling at the edges. We're not really going to do anything because we don't actually want to have a healthcare system that functions properly, because then people aren't chained to terrible jobs. It gives employers a much weaker hand if their workers have the ability to leave their jobs.
This is the positive argument for reform, and that is if labor wins a little bit, then there is proof that you can win stuff.
Yeah.
But that's it. You don't stop there. That's...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so most of this money is just like, the only money for like college kids is like, we're going to put more money into Pell Grants, or we're going to have like 200,000 more housing vouchers. And instead of solving the problem of homelessness, we're going to put out an additional 200,000 housing vouchers or whatever the fuck. Or we're going to give like some more money for black-owned small businesses in troubled communities, which is literally something out of Kamala Harris's campaign platform. It's like, oh my God, why? We're doing this instead of actually addressing the real issues. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it still appalls me at the same time.
What is the like quantitative measure for troubled communities?
Yeah.
That's the thing. There isn't really one. The government's just going to decide arbitrarily, more or less.
Case by case.
Oh, that can't go wrong.
Yeah, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
there.
They're talking about it as if it's a $6 trillion plan, but it's really like they're lumping in like the infrastructure plan and the American like families plan, and they're like lumping those together. And if you add those together with the rest of the budget, that would be $6 trillion. But like, it's also important to note that what the annual White House budget proposal is, it's not actually like, oh, this is what we're doing. It's basically a wish list of all the shit the administration wants to happen this year, while it doesn't actually, survive the congressional budgeting process usually, because like Congress will like hack it to pieces usually. It's a good barometer for like what the administration's priorities are. It's a way to see like what the administration actually cares about. And if doing anything about student loans, about healthcare, or about basic shit like housing or education or healthcare, if those don't even make it into the wish list, they sure as shit aren't things that the administration actually gives a fuck about.
I'm going to try and find this statement that Pete Buttigieg made in regards to infrastructure, because it was like,
God, not him.
It was like the emptiest shit I've ever heard.
I mean, that's anytime he makes a public statement.
I I apologize, everyone. I've been having issues with my computer lately. I've been trying to change some settings, make it run better. I should just get a new one.
As someone whose computer is full of memory or whatever and won't let me do things, I commiserate.
Full of memory.
It is so full of memory.
Just full of it. And surprisingly, I am running Linux and it is going great, if not better than ever. So and it was $0.
So Jesse was talking about the transportation secretary's.
Oh yeah. So 2 days ago, Pete Buttigieg gave the statement that there needs to be a clear direction on infrastructure talks, calling ongoing negotiations encouraging, while stressing that the public expects action on the issue soon. Yeah, no shit.
Thank you for that insightful.
That's kind of your job.
Promising as the administration keeps negotiating against itself.
Yeah. He philosophically seemed to agree that $1 trillion investment is the kind of thing we need to do right now. Oh. There is still a lot of daylight between the two sides.
Isn't that sort of a deal?
You don't say.
What the hell is this, some sort of deal?
See, there you go. If we do them ourselves, we can change them slightly.
The Democrats propose a $6 trillion budget. The Republicans counteroffer with a $900 billion budget. But there's a little daylight in between that. Just a little bit.
What the
I mean, they both suck.
Like that.
I have never heard somebody say,
making sure that we're sparking an electric vehicle revolution.
Oh, dear God.
That's like AP copy editor level bullshit.
Was that Biden?
Nah, it's Buttigieg.
No, that was Buttigieg.
So, all right.
It is soul crushing to remember that we're going to be stuck with him in like the national spotlight for probably the rest of my lifetime.
That's something I just don't like to think about.
Either. Think it's going to be anyone better?
He gave that statement from the Holocaust Memorial.
How much he loves his boyfriend.
He's married.
That was the statement. Well, how much he loves his husband
from the Holocaust Memorial.
Did anyone? Jesus Christ! Did anyone remember?
No, I know what Scott's talking about.
What the fuck, guys?
No,
I know what Scott's talking about.
Thank you guys for remembering it.
What's Pete's husband's name again?
Chasten.
It's like a verb.
It's like a verb.
I'm gonna look this up now.
It's like chasten or something.
Yeah. Chasten.
He took a picture of Pete at the Holocaust Museum.
This guy.
Yeah, and the caption was simply just "this guy," which is just like, what? Yeah, he looks great among the memorial to human rights atrocities. Like,
I'm pretty sure Hava has.
I just thought that was the weirdest venue for that.
The caption.
Yeah, but I wasn't at the Holocaust Memorial when you took those
true,
pictures.
You were not.
Selfie.
Oh God!
Look at all this war crimes.
Chasten. That's a lady's name.
That's his name.
Chasten.
I don't know how to explain it.
Chafin.
All right.
Anyway.
He's younger than me.
So anyway,
that's awful.
We have
how old is he? Like 29?
He's 31.
Oh.
He's younger than you and me.
We have a wonderful
take his adrenochrome
transportation secretary guy. Is that what he is? Secretary of Transportation?
Yeah, he's
secretary of the choo-choos.
Which is depressing as fuck.
Choo-choos you.
And the
vroom vrooms.
Which is supposed to be a plane, but I don't know how to articulate the sound of a plane. Yeah, and then the vroom vrooms. The public vroom vrooms. And the speed limit.
That's pretty good, right?
That was pretty good.
I've been watching a lot of micro-documentaries on aviation disasters.
The fuck is a micro-documentary?
It's a smaller than average documentary,
One
Scott.
that you inject into your bloodstream and then you learn it that way.
It's one that weighs on your conscience, but in very small intervals of time so that you don't notice.
Ancient aliens.
It's like Clockwork Orange. You only see it for a fraction of a second. And then you feel the pain of all the victims.
Yeah, you have like a traumatic memory that you can't access, but it's in your.
All you know is that there was turbulence involved. I'm sorry. This is horrible. Very bad.
All
right, let's get back on track here.
So, yeah, the budget, or what was the big oil
Having
thing?
a slopping night. Sorry, guys. Yeah, what's
Going
up with
on,
Big
Joe?
Oil? What are they doing? They
What's up?
tripping all over
Oh,
us?
that was actually the good news.
Tripping all over us.
Oh, yeah.
So,
They're tripping all over.
the finance nerd that I am actually paying attention to this.
The what star that you
ExxonMobil
are?
Finance.
Who? Oh,
Financer.
I'm one of the rare Marxists that like pays attention to like the stock market.
No, I've been doing that too, but just so that I can find out like the mutual like institutional holdings between. Full disclosure.
Dogecoin is
I
going.
have fucking lost sleep over trying to find what stocks play a part in the American military contractor aid to the IDF, and I cannot fucking find it in public records.
Very specific.
doesn't seem like something that would be in public records.
Well, no, but there's like Raytheon and Boeing stocks.
Oh, yeah.
Because like there's like 3 stocks that owns and are owned by everything.
So the 3 of them.
Oh, you're thinking of ETFs or mutual funds.
Yeah, well, there's Blackwater. There's
Oh, you mean the BlackRock?
yeah, BlackRock. There's
Yeah,
BlackRock.
You're
There's
talking about
Venture.
you're talking about like the index funds.
Whatever,
What are
Joe.
index funds?
Whatever they are,
Ducks?
they're
Yeah, they fucking
important,
ducks,
and I
and that's how they
follow
get
it. Okay.
Funds index.
They
Jeez.
jam it, they cram it
Off
into
my
ducks, and then the ducks fly over and poop it out.
They force feed
In
the
ducks
ducks.
feed.
It has something to do with money. All right.
Money, money,
So,
Money.
Thank you.
ExxonMobil and Chevron both lost shareholder votes this week. Chevron's shareholders successfully forced a vote and actually staged a bit of a rebellion on a vote to require the company to take into account customers' emissions when planning emissions reductions, and also a report on its lobbying activities. That's actually surprisingly good news. And Exxon
Who did that?
Exxon lost 2 board seats to activist investors who were unhappy with the
I'm
direction.
sorry. Activist investors.
It was basically a hostile takeover of 2 board seats by pro like decarbonization.
I'm sorry. A hostile takeover.
It was at a company's annual meeting. There's an election on like who gets elected to the board of directors.
Bro, that
And-
sounds like a
Yeah, it does.
democratic
Like
process.
some Adbuster shit.
However, votes are done by how many shares you have is how much.
How hard
voting.
you
it's
can
not one share, one
piss.
vote. It's your voting power is dictated by how many shares in the company you own.
Okay.
Hot piss.
I'm sorry.
And
I just don't. All right. Okay. So it was a hostile takeover.
let me
So
explain. I'm
somebody
trying to
bought
explain
up-
it.
Somebody bought up all
Joe,
the...
explain it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Explain music. Do.
So, an outside hedge fund called Engine Number One managed to get the backing of enough pension funds and the 3 biggest fund managers, which are basically what companies that manage assets across like a bunch of different things, and BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street are 3 of the biggest.
State
State Street. That was a
I used to work in that building.
They have 3 of like the biggest investment finance institutions, and between the 3 of them, they control 20% of ExxonMobil shares. And
Not surprised. They own Puerto Rico.
they backed
They do.
the campaign to unseat 2 of the incumbent board managers with people who like support like rapidly reducing Exxon's climate footprint.
Nah. it's not
I'm
bad.
so suspicious of this. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it
sorry.
sounds like AstroTurf.
I have
shit.
absolutely no like good faith. Like I just
At
don't
all,
believe
ever.
that there can possibly be
Well, I
like any intentions behind this other than like trying to get ahead of a market that's, you know.
No, because the calculation is that it's good for the company's profits if they decarbonize.
Yeah, but I mean, look at where their money look at where
It's
the rest of their money
it's
sits.
the mentality of let's not appeal to an institution that has no better nature. Let's instead appeal to their self-interest.
Okay. That
That's
makes
basically
sense.
the mentality behind this is
All right.
let's appeal to self-interest. And also, now that these 2 people are installed on the board. And also there was a separate vote that got like 61% support among shareholders to come up with a plan to reduce carbon emissions. And seeing as it passed, the company has a fiduciary obligation to comply with that decision.
I love that word, sorry.
So the company has to, because the shareholders voted to do that, and they have to respect the shareholder decisions. It's not like the company can like ignore it if it wants to, like they legally are obligated to comply with shareholder demands.
I'd love to go to those board meetings.
And
I wouldn't. Jesus Christ, that'd be the most boring garbage.
Yeah, but like with all of the like hostility between the people that were installed or whatever.
Yeah, like Exxon spent like $200 million trying to like beat back this campaign.
It's like top hat wearing British guys, like
with monocles.
Yeah, like
basically,
like comically civil,
and they're all like, "Oh, Jerry, you disagree with me, right? Yeah, we do, Richard." And then it's like, and they don't really, you know.
We do not see eye to eye,
sir. Good sir, I'm afraid we must agree to disagree.
And then
they both want the fucking
your children will fornicate on your grave.
For different reasons.
And then, on another note, a Dutch court on Wednesday ordered Shell to cut its carbon emissions by 45% in the next 10 years.
Shell?
That was the other big, Royal Dutch
Shell's
Shell.
going to cut them by 45%, huh?
That was the other big climate.
I thought a joke would come out of that, and it didn't. Okay, sorry.
Not everything has to have a joke.
Like, all right, I want to get like an idea of realistically, like, how important is this? How I'm not I'm not even trying to be funny because.
Do you mean to the companies or the government?
To us.
To the planet, okay.
Yeah, like to the Earth.
I'm a planet.
Well, I would say it's important because, like, forcing fossil fuel companies to reduce carbon emissions seems important for the continued existence of humanity.
What if they just do it by, like, killing all of the cows that they had and stopping the cows from
It's
farting?
also because it sets precedent to be more aggressive with this kind of shit in the future.
Yeah, no, that actually is good. I mean, not to harp on what Matt Chrisman was talking about on the stream today, but I kind of do think that, like, there's going to be some major climate event that might motivate the planet into actually, like, doing something. And if we have this like early president like that like demands that we get aggressive when we need to get aggressive, like it might shake out to be positive. You never know.
Well, the climate event has to happen to white people for anyone to do anything about it.
Yeah,
true.
That is 100% true.
Yeah, that was another point that Matt was making, is that like because he used the model of the Kim Stanley Robinson novel about how they like the planet dying, climate change, and how we prevent it. So
I guess what I'm asking is like, is this the end of the
fuel? Yes.
No, like is this the beginning of an era in which we are more environmentally conscious, or is it just the end of an era where like
we're just less,
where like we're in climate
hazardous
denial and we haven't started the like eco-fascist shit yet, you know? Like I don't want to be this pessimistic, but
I think it's a bit of both. It's somewhere in the middle.
Because it's like we have water privatized.
We have air privatized in certain places.
On Mars.
Are these just the like, is this just these corporations basically trying to swallow up the parts of the market that would otherwise be available for like sensible solutions that are just going to be like easier ways to commodify the shit that we need to survive? Like, that's all I see this being. Or maybe not all of it, but most of it. Because like that's what fucking happens. You know what I mean? Like, that's just always what fucking happens.
I'm willing to take a wait and see approach, because I think it's the kind of thing that like you have to look at it from like a long-term perspective. Like it's the kind of thing that like it doesn't seem like much now, but might actually turn out to be like something relevant like down the line. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Joe basically more or less said what I was going to say, is that like, I think you're right, Jesse, but I think it like we could produce like what is needed to like, because like every company is going to change to like climate change is going to become like a huge fucking industry. Like, you know, like all of these companies are going to change and emerge and like come out of it. And it's going to be horrifying, but like, I don't know. This could
but imagine
of a good turn. I don't know, dog.
Like
I don't know.
Renewable energy
got no
is
crystal
becoming a
ball.
more profitable business.
This is where I'm coming from. Like,
You got no
okay,
crystal
so
ball.
imagine you're Thomas Sankara, right?
Okay.
And you got imagine you're Thomas Sankara. You have like little to no infrastructure in place. What if the only infrastructure that you guys can produce locally is infrastructure that depends on fossil fuels? What do you fucking do?
Yeah, but how massive is your infrastructure?
Well, if they were building trains, they didn't have electric trains. We don't even fucking run electric trains.
True. I mean,
even though Amtrak's going to be like 50% electrified by like 2025, though.
I don't know. All I'm trying to do is
50% electrified 2025.
If this show isn't actually like, there's nobody that's like listening to. Okay, first off, there's nobody listening to the show. Period. If you think you're listening to this show,
hello, 12 people.
You're not real. But like,
yeah,
I think the
it's
least
just me hitting play over and over again.
It's just Scott on like a bunch of different IPs. I mean, one of the things that actually draws me to Marxism is its capacity for making predictions. So like, this is a prediction that I am willing to make. I'm willing to make the prediction that when the quote unquote developed countries have transitioned to a primarily like electric and, you know, quote unquote green. I mean, it's fucking silly to say that because most of the electricity, like you're still burning fossil fuels. You know what I mean? You have to change everything about the way that we like harvest shit from the earth. You know what I mean?
Get horses out to plow again.
Like, we have to do much more than transfer like our diesel cars to like charging stations, because you're still going to get the energy from a power plant. And chances are, at least if you're in this part of the world, those power plants are still running on fucking fossil fuel.
Yeah. Even nuclear energy.
So what happens when the first world has transitioned and the third world has yet to implement any of this infrastructure, and they're basically going to have to catch up on their own? Do you really think that there's nobody is going to like crack down on fossil fuel emissions from those nations?
No, of course they are, but that's going to be like the climate catastrophe that like will motivate us. I think that's what you're describing. I don't know, dude.
I mean, will it though? Because people are already pointing at China and saying, "Oh, they're polluting so much," and it's like,
they just figured out how to end capitalism.
Exactly. Like, they're just doing what we do better.
China ended capitalism?
No, they just figured out how to do it right.
Okay. Wait, there's a right way? Anyways.
Quote unquote, sorry.
Like, I find it to be a bad faith argument because cumulatively since carbon emissions started being tracked, the United States and the European Union have accounted for 52% of all carbon emissions, and the Chinese have accounted for like 11%, like 16%, somewhere around that ballpark.
Yeah, per capita, we are still way beyond.
So like, even if you look at like cumulatively, the Chinese are like way behind us in terms of like the amount of carbon emissions.
And they've planted like billions of trees.
Also, as we love to say on the show, they play the long game better than anyone else.
That's another reason why I understand that these libertarian dipshits have some foresight, because they have like all of the money and you know, insider trading information that you could possibly want, but they're still basically interested in how much money they can make right now.
Yeah, that's the problem with libertarians, is that they are
slaves
to the next quarterly earnings report, and I can't really see past that.
Well said.
Sorry, I didn't want to like consume all of the air, but
no amount of insider insight. I mean, like insider like trading
no amount of
insider is going to save you if you can't see past like 3 months from now.
That's true.
It's not gonna save you.
Can't even see my own balls anymore, dude.
Fair enough.
But that's probably just because I'm fat.
I'm not gonna turn that into a verse.
Anyway, thank you, Joe, for keeping us up to speed.
For showing off while I'm fucking around with the sound and fucking up the show.
It's okay. We forgive you. We love you, Comrade.
I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways. Is it a story about birds again?
For me?
Yeah, you.
Me? I wish. Yeah. Wish it was bird content.
What can't be made up this week?
Burb.
I'm Ellie, and you cannot make this shit up.
You can make this shit up.
Burb.
The thing. Okay. This is not.
Oh, the corpse flower.
I feel like I'm just in a slump here, but this one's okay. I don't know.
No, I like the corpse flower.
There's just a lot of
Joe.
There. There is
No lack of enthusiasm.
There is a type of flower. So first of all, the Latin name of this flower is really lovely. It's called an Amorphophallus titanum. Titanum.
That means penis.
Yeah.
It means a large,
the penis
weird-looking penis
Penis flower.
kind of guy. And
Mm.
they take an average of 7 to 10 years to bloom for the first time. And then after that, they bloom every 3 to 5 years, which is more often than I thought. But
Don't
basically,
they
yeah.
stink though?
Well, see, that's the thing.
It is
They
so
do.
hard to not make, like, never mind.
Well, it just looks like a giant dick. Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. It's like it's a dick in a dress. It's beautiful.
And it blooms cyclically, and it grows to a certain size, and all this fucking. It's just
Gross.
you can't. You're making it the joke. The joke is too easy to make. Is the
Yeah,
problem?
it's just,
I
it writes
think.
itself, essentially. I don't even have to do anything.
Goddamn Darwinian mechanics.
So this was just this actual story. This actual story takes place in Alameda, California, which is in it's like kind of a shittier part of the San Francisco Bay Area. And some guy named, what's his name? Solomon Leyva, who I guess he runs like a nursery that deals in rare plants or some shit. Apparently he has an Instagram. You can look at it. He had a corpse flower, and he was like, I want, people were messaging him or something and being
Let's
like,
smell that flower.
it's cool. It's like, oh, look at that. It looks like a dick or whatever. And
Yeah.
so he was like, people seem to
Hell
like
yeah.
this large phallic flower. So
People seem to like that big dick.
he's gonna
Play with a Lotta big day.
they seem to like it. So he said,
I grabbed my wagon, went down to my greenhouse.
Grab a wagon.
Put it in with the help of a friend of mine. I dragged
I
it
put
down
my
into
wagon
this,
in my wagon.
to this abandoned building. People just started showing up.
and he's at an abandoned gas station in Alameda, California, and people just fucking showed up and wanted to look at it. The thing is, I picked this story because I thought, the first thing you usually think of when you read about a corpse flower is, oh, it fucking smells terrible. And I just thought it was great that all these people were like,
Oh, I want to go smell it.
but apparently this particular one did not smell that bad, which is too bad. It says the flower.
Well, that's a ripoff.
I know.
I want to be retching and
that's false.
near death.
That's horrible.
Just
Exactly. I
gasping
want
for
to
breath,
just be completely
overwhelmed.
repelled.
Yeah, I just want to vomit my
all over the
internal
place.
organs.
Exactly.
That's what I want.
So that didn't happen, but apparently people
Full
were.
Lucy-Fucci.
He said, the guy said,
I think everyone's tripping out that they can walk up and wiggle it and smell it. A lot of fun for everybody.
Jesus Christ.
so,
It is a Lucio Fucci movie.
yeah, pretty much. Sure, I'll take your word for that.
Italian horror director. No, it's fine.
All right, I gotta say, I am perplexed by there's a guy who set up a fucking folding chair.
Yeah.
What's it gonna do?
Yeah, he sat there and apparently he patiently answered the same questions again and again.
You know, this type of flower was the flower in the Dennis the Menace movie.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
I do.
I've seen that movie, but it's a long time ago. And then when he was interviewed, Solomon Leyva said,
I'll stay here until it gets dark today.
I'll stay here.
It's great to see the people this hyped.
this is great because he's also using like a lot of Bay Area language, which I thought was like extra funny. He's like,
I enjoy
"People are
watching
tripping."
the people get hyphy.
Yes, people got hyphy about my large dick-looking flower. Anyway. Yep, it's great to see people get
That's
hyphy.
all
Anyway, that's, yeah,
you got and can be made up.
I'm still Ellie.
I couldn't admit. I did not. It's true. I didn't
Could
expect
not have
that.
made that stuff up.
Boo, boo.
I guess I could just give a little sneaky preview of what I'm gonna
Sneaky
do for the
poopy.
menage.
Poopy
The
sneaky.
menage.
The menage.
Poopy sneaky is sneaking out my. Okay, sorry.
So I think the next thing I'm going to read on the menagerie is going to be The Rise and Demise of Women's Liberation by Marlene Dixon.
It's a good name.
She wrote it in 1977. It's another piece from the Marxist Internet Archive. I'll probably break it into 2 parts. But yeah, I put up what was the last one that I did? Why am I asking you guys? 'Cause
It
I
was
the one that did it.
some kind of feminist one, maybe. I forget.
Some kind of feminist.
Cora somebody, maybe?
Oh, yeah, it was Clara Fraser on the dialectics of U.S. backwardness. Yeah, that was really fun to read. I gave like a little forward because it was written recently enough that like
I like
I don't know, it's a very easy read. And what I didn't say, the part that I didn't divulge, the backwardness in the title is in quotes. So it on its surface sounds like an indictment of Americans, but in truth is a pushback against that indictment.
Okay, that's important.
I mean, her tone is kind of sarcastic, and it's I don't know, just fucking listen to it. It'll be up. That's it. This is hard without the soundboard.
I know.
Yeah, I'll work tirelessly to get it back up. I'm sorry.
You know what?
everybody.
The great thing about social communism is kind of like the rain.
Oh my god.
It sounds nice when you're listening to it, but then you get out in it and it's even better. Fuck.
You know, you did pretty good though.
I don't think I even got the words right.
Close enough.
This is a valiant effort.
Would you display this as a trophy?
Would you?
Do you have a pet?
Do you have a pet?
I was actually gonna make like the whole clip of him saying no. Didn't happen. We made it up. Nope. I was gonna actually make that a sound drop again.
That's false.
Nope. Never happened. It's pure fiction. Nope.
Johnny Frakes.
Johnny Frakes.
Johnny Two Takes
You
Frakes.
love to call him Johnny Frakes.
Yeah.
Darmok Injalad.
You gotta do the
At
Darmok
Dorlock
later.
X Jihad.
Yeah, Dorlock X Jihad.
Dorlock.
In I don't know.
His eyes uncovered.
Take us out, Scott. Take us out.
Yeah. Quit while we're ahead.
Oh, wait. First off,
Oh, we got
What?
something else. Thank God.
What?
I believe next week we will be, hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to be doing a little guest spot with the Boston DSA Political Education Working Group.
Oh, boy.
PEWG.
They're going to
You just say
puke all over us.
They're going to puke on. I didn't. No.
They're gonna have to tolerate us making puke jokes.
Yeah.
That's
More
definitely
will be revealed.
That's going to be an interesting challenge.
I mean, I'm not going to call them puke. That seems disrespectful.
Puke?
They call themselves puke. That's what
I
Ed said
puke,
anyway.
Not, anyways. Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay.
I've actually
Can't
had
hear
a
you.
couple
You're
of
too
meetings
far
when
away.
they do.
I'm too far away.
There you go. Now you're back.
Now I'm back. It's all
Yes.
great. Yeah. It's the Okay. My name's Scott.
Oh, shit. I'm getting a call.
Jesse's
Oh,
getting a
shit.
call. Is it
Who's
from
calling
Charlie
Ghost
Baker?
Bastards.
Is it Charlie Baker trying
Come for
to
revenge.
punk you out? Like I've heard those calls. I've heard
Yes.
those messages.
That's what he sounds like. He sounds like Nixon.
Yeah.
Jess,
If Nixon listened
what the
to
fuck?
Blink-182.
I'm recording. I can't hear you. I'll call you in a little after. Bye.
Live calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thrilling. Truly.
We should try to call.
I can't fucking hang up, yeah. Okay.
What was our? I totally forgot. Oh, Marty Walsh's fucking office in Washington D.C.
Oh yeah, I should try to
Totally
find
forgot
it,
his
remember.
fucking name, and it's so funny that the office that he has now is also neo-brutalist. That's very funny.
Oh, that's right. He
Yeah.
just can't.
That is
escape
hilarious.
Can't escape it.
it. I wonder if
He
it's
can't
also
escape
wet.
his concrete coffin.
If it's wet all the time.
That's a joke that everybody's gonna get
The
about
what?
architecture.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's like a
Fuck! I would have
twist on
played
his
my
part.
brutalist architecture rules sound drop. The Chris Wade one. Damn it. Brutalist architecture rules.
Woo!
Yeah. Flip the table. Anyways, my name is Scott. You can find me online as Sweaty Wife. I'm on Bandcamp. I'm on SoundCloud.
Sweet wife.
And I'm on Instagram as Sweaty Wife. I'm on Twitter as Death Mullet. I should probably change that. Who gives a fuck? Twitter's stupid.
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? Twitter's stupid. Fight!
Stupid.
Chaos is a ladder. It's inherently a capitalist structure. Anyways,
didn't kill himself.
I mean, like, well, that's true. I can't really disagree with that. Anyways, Ellie, where can we find you?
Well, that's
I
a great
usually do
question.
Joe. That's interesting. I didn't even go to Joe first.
Well, go to Joe first.
No.
I don't care.
You go. No,
Joe?
how about you just say no?
Too
Go,
late.
Joe. Joe, go.
What? Joe go.
Exactly.
Why
Go,
me?
Jet. Go.
Exactly. You did it exactly as I wanted.
Great. I don't know. I'm Joe. You can find me complaining about something on the internet if you look hard enough.
A lot of baseball on his
And
Insta.
politics.
It's mostly baseball.
Well, that's
Dude,
that's usually less depressing.
You post a lot of like pitches. I just watch a lot of videos of baseball up in your stories.
Up in your story.
That's what I see when I come through. When I go through my feed while I'm at work.
You want to
Joe, where can we find you, buddy?
Riveting conversation.
Were you again?
You can find my Instagram. It's usually just spit stuff about baseball at JLFB1996. I don't know. Someone else start talking.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go. I'm Ellie, and can't find me anywhere. But if you want a psychic reading, you should email my headmate
DarmokXJalad
@gmail.com.
Yep.
That's right.
His eyes
His eyes uncovered. Thank you. Street charges on a sliding scale.
What was the name of that Doctors Without Borders for the Palestinian,
John
thing?
Carter
What?
in the later seasons of ER.
The name of it?
Something.
I don't know. Just follow that link that I put in the agenda. You put it there because I put it in the Slack. I don't know. There's no guy. There's no person. Is that what you meant?
What?
Jesse?
They're fighting an invisible monster in that episode.
Hold on.
They are.
It's like I think it's like it's in Portuguese for some reason.
What are we?
I
What is happening right now?
Hold on. NRC. What does that fucking stand for?
What is it?
The Norwegian Refugee Council. No, there's another one.
Nuclear Regulatory Commission?
There's another one.
MAPS is the other one.
MSF.
National Register.
MSF is
that's Medicine Sans Frontiers.
I know it's Doctors Without Borders.
I am so confused right now.
Medicines Sans Frontières.
Oh yeah.
What is that? What fucking language is that?
It's French.
It's French.
All right.
What do you mean? What language is that?
Whatever.
French.
Fuck you. Whatever fucking language it's in.
Where can we find you, Comrade?
I'm Jesse, and you can find my music on soundcloud.com/contingentsboston. Remember to hit up comrade-rosie.org. Select the Getting Involved tab. Choose one or more mutual aid groups to donate your time, labor, and or money to. And the reason I was asking is because I am calling on you, anonymous listener, to donate to Medicines
Doctors Without Borders.
Frontieres. Just go to msf.org. Donate to the Doctors Without Borders who are working with Palestinians because they are really getting fucking hit hard right now. I mean, they always have, but they're continuing to get hit really fucking hard right now. And mental health is just as important as physical health. And particularly these kids in Palestine that are getting their fucking houses bombed. They're getting invaded by soldiers and police, and they're going to experience a lot of trauma, probably for the rest of their lives. They're going to be dealing with some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder. So I'm calling on you to donate to Doctors Without Borders. It may not be the best organization out there, but it's the only one that explicitly works with Palestinians on mental health care. That is my extended pitch this week. Love you. Mwah, mwah.
Kisses,
That's a good pitch.
Kisses. It is, yes. You should do that. Go.
Yeah.
Give money. Support your local BDS movement.
BDS?
Get involved in a local unionizing effort, a tenant unionizing effort. Do whatever. Just do something.
Just do something.
Oh, we say, but tank dough.
But tank dough.
Oh, fucking. It's a piss club reunion. Anyways, that's the show, folks. I gotta tinker with my sound, and if I don't get it to work, fucking hell. I don't know.
Boston Commune.
How would your hair
Oh,
fare
shit.
in a blizzard?
I just realized we can't do like a animal noise.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to do our own.
Yeah.
Caw-caw.
Caw-caw, caw-caw.
What the fuck was that? What on earth was that supposed to be?
The Sumerian.
I'm doing a peacock.
Bark.
Bark. Honk.
Peekaboo.
These animals are just Pokemon. Dog. Dog. Dog.
Pikachu.
Dog.
Just be a Snorlax, you know?
Hippo.
Just be a Snorlax today.